No edits.
This is the All Things Go podcast. I'm E.
I'm DJ Ashro.
And I'm Kim.
Got a special guest here today. Introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, y'all? They call me comedian Papithebear, straight out of Baltimore. You heard me? What's happening?
All right. We very happy to have this guy on the show, man.
I'm happy to be here.
Very funny guy. He out here running, doing his numbers.
Yeah.
And we thank you for coming here with us, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys having me, man. Real shit.
Do you really?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Motherfuckers don't want to say that type of shit. You know?
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm pro Baltimore. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and I've been around for a while doing a little bit of everything and seeing all of the talent in Baltimore. I like being connected to it, man. You know, especially myself being a talent and just seeing everybody doing what they're doing, man. It's motivating. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I definitely appreciate you guys having me.
All
Yes,
right.
thanks for
All
coming.
right.
You're a pretty busy guy. I see you on a press run right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to get some things done, man. This comedy thing really taking off for me. So, you know, got a couple of big joints coming up. May 30th. Got a crazy show, man. Myself, Henry Jones, Chi-Chi the comedian, Ray Diva, Lonnie Davis, Hilarious Omar, Larry Lancaster, man. Akila Divine, October Parker, man. We trying to do something big, man. And we almost sold out already. And, you know, we got 60 days left.
Akila Divine, she a singer, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and she like
Absolutely.
Because you just threw in there with the comedians. You know?
Yeah, so I wanted to do something that I think that hasn't been done in the city as far as putting that much funny on one card that was all from the city. You understand what I'm saying? And then on top of that, it's a grown and taxi type of situation. So October Parker and Akila Divine, that was just the icing on the cake.
Like that.
Speed it up and then slow it down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Well, I gotta ask, how did you get your name?
Well, as you can see, I'm a big fella, you know.
Okay.
So you know, the bear that came in years ago, you know, and Poppy, I got big eyes. So my aunt, when I came out, my aunt, she called me Poppy. You know what I mean? And it was Poppy
Okay.
because of my eyes or whatever. But then I got a little older, started messing with the biddies. Then I mean, you know, she called me Poppy, you know what I'm saying? So, I kind of switched it up and it made sense, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, it made sense.
I put it together.
Absolutely.
So how did you link up with Bag Food? We seen you on the Bag Food podcast.
Okay, so
Shout out to Bag Food.
yeah, shout out to Esso and Heineken, man. So, shout out one of my business partner, my manager, Tim Edwards, man. We got together and we was trying to come up with a plan to really do things different. You know, everybody is everywhere on certain platforms, and certain platforms, some people feel like they're unreachable, right? So with the big business acumen that I have and that he has, we kind of set it up because we wanted to do something different. You know, Bag Fuel was a different lane. It wasn't just for the comedy situation. I'm also an entrepreneur as well. I got my own cologne line, own clothing line, you know, so I do a couple of different things, man, so it made sense.
Well, you just flow so fast, you just don't cut off my questions.
I'm sorry.
So, you know we in that BBL trend right now, right?
Okay.
Where that's what everybody doing.
Mm-hmm.
And right now everybody talking about how it smell.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's cheesy and stuff like that. But speaking on your cologne, how would you say your cologne smells? Like, what would you say? It's
So I wouldn't put it in the category with the BBL ass smell.
The wind, you talking about the wind when they clap? Oh, okay.
But if you're trying to kill that BBL wind,
Okay.
you spray some of that. That's gonna make sure you're good. That I mean. But as far as the BBLs, period, man, I'm gonna say this. I'm 45, right? I come from an era of natural asses. I'm a big nigga. I like to eat. You understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to
no
the
pause.
BBL, no pause. You know what I mean? No pause there.
So you saying you like to eat ass?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all
nigga,
right.
I ain't stayed married for 10 years for nothing.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Y'all still married?
Still rocking and rolling. Still rocking and rolling.
Right.
A black woman?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, we don't know.
Hey, look, straight
Black
chocolate.
love.
You know what I mean?
We love black
look,
love up here.
ain't nothing like a black woman, man.
As soon as you get out that vanilla, then you go to your black queen.
Nah, snow bunnies ain't for me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't play in the snow,
we
man.
with you.
Yeah. Already. I can't do it, baby.
Not even a head.
All right, so tell you what happened, right? So I'm a military cat, right? 18 years old coming out of Baltimore. I ain't never had a white brow or nothing like that. No disrespect to the white females. I fuck with y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all do y'all thing, but it just ain't for me. Had one. You know, I worked down a silly little kitchen duty or whatever. Little snow bunny run down on me, said, "You trying to do something?" Took in the basement. Man, we did it. It felt like
He's so
you know how you know how
I'm just waiting for the answer because it's like.
them kitchen gloves,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got
like the wash. Yeah. You know how, when it get wet inside.
Yeah,
That's how I felt. I couldn't do it. Yeah, that was first class.
Hey, yo,
Yeah,
not
first
inside
of
the kitchen glove wet.
Man,
Then it get milk
felt like
booty.
felt like my dick had dishpan hands. You know what I mean?
Okay. But speaking back with the podcast that you just did recently, you was saying something in reference to like our youth, the YNs, and how nobody like pulls them aside to hold them accountable and mentor them or whatever the case may be, right? So if you could choose who in the industry, dead or alive, right, would you choose to be a wing person to? Like if somebody could mentor you, like if Red Fox was still alive,
that would be who my mentor would be. You said, you took the words right out of my mouth. I grew up watching Sanford and Son, and I also was a huge fan of who Red Fox was and what he stood for. You know, he was a very giving man. He gave a lot of people opportunities. You understand what I'm saying? Not that I tailor my career to what he did, but I live by a lot of those principles. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was the type of person, nobody ever gave me a shot.
right?
You understand what I'm saying? Everything that I have or everything that I did, as far as being out in this industry, I had to take a chance for myself. You know, years ago, I was doing music, and I couldn't get nobody to play my music on the radio. So
Wait, you mean like singing? Like woo woo woo? Like that was you?
I used to rap.
Okay.
Okay.
But I had a song called "I'm from Baltimore." It was on the. I actually submitted it for one of the theme songs for The Wire. I think I could have made it, but it didn't. But I'm glad it didn't because the classic Wire song is what it is.
Yes, it is.
But with that, I ended up creating my own radio station on Blog Talk Radio before podcasting was podcasting. And with that radio station, I garnered probably about 5,000 listeners, a week with that. And I was just playing Baltimore artists, or not just Baltimore artists, but mostly independent artists, but mainly Baltimore artists because I didn't hear a lot of Baltimore artists on the radio. You had people like Mully Man and Boss Man that was getting played on the air, getting played on the air. Shout out to both of them guys. You know what I mean? But they were getting played on the radio, but it was still a lot of talent out there.
Right.
Shout out to my man B Diamonds. When I was in Korea, I had to go all the way to Korea and be over there and meet another cat from Baltimore. And we ended up linking up and getting into a group called Lost City with a couple of cats from Philly and Texas. You understand what I'm saying? So we did our thing out there. But when I came back, life happened. Got a family. Things slowed down for me. B kept going, but I transitioned into something else. So with that, I felt like, okay, since I'm not getting no traction here, I'm going to try to make some shit happen on my own. You know what I mean?
Do you think Kevin Hart is funny?
I do.
Okay.
I do think Kevin Hart is funny. And
now, are you saying that because you want to work with him or because you really think he's funny?
Nah, I really think he's funny. You got to think about this, man. Comedy is subjective to everybody. You understand what I'm saying? What make you laugh might not make me laugh, or her laugh, or her laugh.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's different. He's a great storyteller. He has a lot of he's animated. Not a lot of people like that. I'm a more laid back type of cat, but I like that type of funny.
Yeah.
Well, I hear a lot of people saying he's not relatable no more since he got all the money. Like the jokes ain't like high when he first started.
Nobody's gonna stay. Do we want him to stay the same? Let's be real.
No, we just want him to stay funny. For the people who don't think he's funny no more.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you think he's funny?
Now?
Yeah. Period.
I don't know.
Why you say you don't know?
Because I ain't listened to him lately. Like I ain't watched none of his shows. Like I thought he was hilarious.
Mhm.
Then I thought, no, I ain't fucking with no more. And then I just say
he's still Kevin Hart. You understand what I'm saying? He's still Kevin Hart. He's still
that's his name.
Bad.
I mean, he's still funny.
But he is. He's not speaking on most of the things that would be relatable to the average cat now. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's still speaking on real issues.
Do you think his movies funny?
Not all of them. Not all of them.
You don't think that he keep playing the I'm the scared little short nigga role?
Why not? I mean,
the black boy.
he typecast. Look at Weeback. You fuck with Weeback from The Wire?
Of course. It's Weeback.
Okay, but he typecast he played the same nigga in every movie.
No, he don't. In most movies.
Okay, I was going to say, give me a movie that Weeback ain't play Weeback.
But we talking about Weeback and
really
Kevin Hart.
It's really strategic because like Chris Rock,
it ain't no acting.
Adam Sandler, they all have that group of people that they with, right? And Chris Rock is always going to be the token black guy for that set of friends. So Kevin Hart to me is not like a down and dirty comedian. He is like mainstream Hollywood.
Right.
That don't mean you got to keep playing. Now, he had that show, what it was called Fight Night. Played a different role. Love that show. Did a good job. But he played a different role. He was kind of the scared black nigga a little bit. But he played it differently, I guess.
He played it differently. And what was the other joint he did with Wesley Snipes? True Story?
True Story.
True Story? It was different. He showed you another side of him.
I just want to see more of that side. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of seeing I'm the
give him a shot.
With all that being said, what makes you laugh? Like, is it dark humor?
A little bit of everything. If you look at my Instagram page, people send me all type of shit. You understand? You know, from women with no legs to people with no hands. You understand what I'm saying? Folks that's burnt up.
So you pre-ordered your ticket to hell?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know where I'm going. Okay. You know, I made my peace with it. You know, I made my peace with that situation, man. And with that, you know, sometimes what makes us smile makes us cry and vice versa, right? Me, myself, 2017, I went through a situation where I had a real bad sinus infection, and they went in to check me out and found out I had a brain tumor. You understand what I'm saying? And at that point, they told me, you know, you might not be the same man coming out of this situation, you know what I mean, depending on how this going to go. Right. You know, and they were right, but in the wrong aspect. You know, I laid down in that bed, and for one, I was newly married. You understand what I'm saying? And
he eating my questions up because see, I think differently. I'm sorry. So I was going to touch on, you know, your testimony and about how you couldn't walk anymore. But my real question was, you know, when they said that to you, seeing as though you was married, was you thinking like, damn, how we going to maneuver that?
All right. So let me tell you how special this woman is, right? I proposed to her on her birthday that February. We didn't plan to get married until maybe like 2021. Through this whole ordeal, first thing she said to me when they set the surgery date, she said, I don't want no big wedding. I want to go and I want to get married now. I asked her why. She said, because I don't want you to go through this and me not be your wife and me not have no say-so over helping you get back to where you need to be. Right. And with that touched me to my core. So I ran, got the ring, made it, you know what I mean, made sure she was mine. You understand what I'm saying? And that woman would nurse me back to health.
A white woman wouldn't have did that.
Made me jump.
I mean, even though a nigga ain't had no bread, that mean she'd have put that life insurance on nigga and put me down. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and pull a plug on it. You know what I mean? But she didn't do that. You know, her, my sister, you know, my mom, you know, they nursed me back to health, man. And, you know, I wasn't in no super bad situation after the surgery, but these were the possibilities that the doctor gave me, right? And me laying in that bed, you know, I'm like, the God I believe ain't gonna do this to me. You know, he ain't bring me this far to have me in a situation where I'm gonna be fucked up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So with that, with my belief and the healing hands that were laid on me. I'm here to be with y'all today. Now, I still got the little Quasimodo demonstration going on the left eye. That I mean, but I'm out. That I mean, I can rock and roll. That I mean, I can still shake a leg a little bit, you know.
Took you back to your roots, to Poppy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That motherfucker pop out like a motherfucker and hang low. Nigga, keep a nice set of shades nowadays, you hear me?
So how long was you down from the surgery before you was back to your normal self?
Oh, man.
Or normal as you could be?
About 6 months. About 6 months to get me all the way back to where I was at. I was on a walker for a couple of months just to get my balance and everything. I had the staples in my head for about 3 months, man. But I was rocking and rolling. And, you know, again, when I laid in that bed, I vowed to myself that I was going to do everything that I wanted to do in life,
right.
You know, when I got up.
So, like, when you was in the bed, like, how long before you could actually perform again in the bed?
Yeah, that's what I was saying in a soft girl way.
Okay. No. Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate you because I was going to hit on that.
Oh, all right.
You know, first thing I did when I got up out the bed, I wanted to make sure my dick worked.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Straight. I mean, this is all things go, so we going.
Right.
You know, I wanted to make sure my dick worked. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, I'm newly married.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I got to make sure shit right.
Sure.
Right.
You know, yeah, I still had the staples in my head, man, Vicodin into me. I was trying to go.
Okay.
But man,
did you go?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So if you weren't able to go and it took you a little long to get back, would you give your wife a hall pass?
Fuck no. Why would I do that?
I mean,
because I'm gonna make something happen. Man, yeah, motherfucker, mouth work, mouth fingers work.
Let it man.
Ain't nothing like the real thing, you know.
I hear you.
Bag with a fake one.
I hear you. Look, I hear you, but check this out, brother. I told you I'm a big fella. Let him man. I like to clean my plate.
Okay.
Know what I mean? So she was good. You know, she was good.
Sure.
Yeah.
No hall pass.
I know that's right.
Yeah, no hall passes, baby. Nah. Once that's mine, that's mine. I can't. Nah, bro.
You seem to have a lot of other things going on, like you know, a real entrepreneur. So,
yes.
Was comedy your first path? Like, is this your only plan, or did you have like other options and you somehow this is what stuck?
So I'll be honest. I did a couple of talent shows when I was in high school. I've always been in love with comedy. Did I see myself being a stand-up comedian? No. You know, like I said, you know, I thought music was going to be my path. When I, in 2000, from 2007 to mid-2009, I did a 2-year stint in the feds. You know what I mean? With the Army. And I was locked up in Fort Knox, Kentucky. I did this program called the Bluegrass Challenge. That's like the military's version of Scared Straight, right? The pastor that was running the challenge, after the challenge, he brought me in to speak to the kids, you know, and he kept saying to me, man, you're going to be on somebody's pulpit.
You going to say what you went in for?
Oh, yeah, I was AWOL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was AWOL. My first wife, I was supposed to go to Afghanistan for the first time, and what ended up happening, I was a new dad. You know, my wife at the time, she was very emotional. You understand what I'm saying? And me being young and thinking of those feelings, I came home to console her, and I ended up, you know, doing that type of situation. So that's how I ended up there.
So there's nobody for him to rat on. Y'all
Nah.
know how he got the 2 years.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know. Yeah.
Straight time.
Yeah, straight time. They gave me 10 years, all suspended, but the 2. You know,
Okay.
all I heard was
so
10.
you was blessed.
Yeah. All I heard was the 10 years, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Right.
I mean, I got to sit down. You know what I mean? But
back up 10 though.
yeah. You know, I was in that motherfucker cutting hair, cooking like a motherfucker, getting time off. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, you know, that part of when he said that to me, I'm thinking music, right? And that it stayed with me. You know, that part of that stayed with me. But moving forward, one shout out to my man Lucky the comedian. You know, he's did quite a few things here in the city as well. And he and I used to go back and forth all the time. And he said, yo, you should try stand up.
Other than yourself, who you think is the funniest from the city? I ain't know. We not about to name 19 people.
No, so.
All right, now wait. Is we saying funny like social media funny or stand up funny?
Okay, so
Definitely different.
we already know. Shout out to the queens, Jess, Monique. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to them. They already have ascended to greatness, right? On the ground with their boots on the ground right now. Everybody that's on the show on May 30th, retarded.
And this is the name of 19 people I didn't want them to do. Give us one person who you think is the funniest. We know everybody on the show funny. That's what they're there for. But you're one.
My
like
one.
That's that.
Like if you was doing the show,
other than yourself,
you wanted to put a lineup together, and you knew you wanted to sell these
tickets.
No,
we're not doing the show a lineup.
No. Who the first person he gonna pick?
Okay.
I'm calling my girl Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi?
Chi-Chi the comedian, hands down. I'm calling little sis.
With the big titties.
That I mean, I'm calling little sis. That I mean.
With the cha-cha.
Yeah. She got a slogan. She called it the bigger, the better, the wetter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the homie right there. You understand what I'm saying?
She joke about the titties. That's why I said the big titties.
Right.
Yeah, so.
You know, and she's dedicated. She go out here. She go get it. Mm-hmm. And she funny than a motherfucker. She work her craft. You know what I mean? She work her craft, man. So if I
need you up here,
absolutely, yeah, we gotta get you on here. You know what I mean? But yeah, that if I was to pick somebody, that's who I'm backing.
All right.
Okay.
That's who I'm backing.
Now you can name the other 19 people.
Now, outside of that, I got my squad, the Fat Boys of Comedy.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Which is myself, Henry Jones, Woody, a.k.a. Baltimore. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And my man Big Ed. He ain't big no more. Nigga used to be 400 pounds.
Ozempic?
Huh? No. I think he got the operation. But it was for health reasons, but that nigga need a sandwich now. Nigga need a sandwich now. We got to feed him. He's no longer a fat boy, but he's on it, right? You know, because he was part of the group when it came
so
in.
He got to open.
Yeah. Absolutely. But my squad, and then I got my mentors, which is Lonnie Davis. You understand what I'm saying? This is one of the guys that when I first came into comedy, the first person to put a mic in my hand was Howard G. You understand what I'm saying? OG comedian, and in the city, we probably all know him, Mr. Kiss My Bumper, but he was the first person to actually put me on stage. I opened up for Kevin Anthony. But Lonnie Davis was one of those guys that pulled my coattail early. He let me know that I had something, told me how to work it. You understand what I'm saying? Larry Lancaster, he's another one. Mm-hmm. He pulled me to the side, and gave me some tips and pointers and told me what to do. You understand what I'm saying? As far as just how to move in the game. You understand? So it's different for me, man. I got a support system in this thing. I got a comedy family. I got cats that I can call on the phone and get some advice or talk to about doing some business. And I have no issues, man. Oh, and my man John Doe. Young boy John Doe. John Doe from New York, but he an honorary Baltimore nigga.
All right.
You know what I mean? But John Doe, he out here doing this thing as well, man. It's a host of others, man. I could go on for days. Wesley Brooks, Snow. These cats, like, they out here working. They working hard.
What about people that's like famous,
Hold, because I want to do this or that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I want to give you two comedians and you pick which one is the funnest to you.
Oh, this sounds fun.
Okay, I'm going to start off Kevin Hart, Cat Williams.
Cat Williams, hands down.
Okay, Bill Burr, Andrew Schultz.
Bill Burr, I fucks with Bill Burr heavy.
Do you know who Andrew Schultz is?
I know who Andrew Schultz is.
Okay, I will know Andrew. Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy?
Okay, I mean, yeah. If you're going all the way back to 1997.
He paid. Come on, man.
We ain't going with Paved the Way. Who funnier?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Eddie, Raw.
It's your opinion.
But
is we speaking?
Is we speaking facts or we speaking
cinematic funny or stand-up comedy?
I'm just saying,
because it still would be Eddie.
I'm just saying,
Chris Rock would say Eddie.
He ain't put out nothing in so long.
It don't matter.
We living in the past. But
think about this: if you put Raw up against 90% of the shit that's out here right now, fuck them up, even in the 80s.
I think a good one would have been Bernie versus Eddie, like Bernie Man versus Eddie. Over who you picked tonight.
I don't want to put dead people because people want to choose a dead person because of something.
Because they did.
So what people do that? I'm gonna go with him because
I wouldn't go with Bernie. I would still say Eddie, but and I'm gonna tell you why I would still say Eddie. Bernie didn't get a chance to give us that hour special. He didn't chance to give us. He made
me laugh sometimes for longer than his set.
True that. Bernie was just a funny motherfucker, and still is. Come on, people still using this shit in social media today. You understand what I'm saying? So Bernie Mac he's definitely on my Mount Rushmore comedy.
Okay. Average Spares, TK Kirkland.
TK.
Who raised you,
nigga? And I mean TK off the muscle.
Darnell Rollins. Damn, why this nigga name just... Oh, fuck. His name... 5150 Show. What the fuck is this nigga name?
Corey Hogan?
Corey Hogan. That's tough.
That is very tough.
Ain't tough.
Yeah, I ain't got...
He
Darnell Rollins is...
Darnell Rollins is a monster. Corey Holcomb.
It's disgustingly hilarious.
Yeah, so
if you like,
that's a great description.
Exactly. Corey Holcomb is just that raw. I call that nigga the 50 Cent of comedy, man. On some real shit. Man, he's a funny motherfucker. I got a gripe with him because of how he do my girl Jess. Absolutely, because I'm everything Baltimore. You understand what I'm saying? And there will be no Baltimore slander when I'm around. You know what I mean? But he's a funny motherfucker.
Yeah, he hilarious, man. But he has been getting booed and people walking out his shows.
I hear about
But they
that.
saying that's because it's a college crowd and you know how they're, feminists.
Pro everything.
If you don't know his type of comedy, you not gonna...
He's flushing babies down the toilet.
I mean, let me tell you something, man. In this day and age, if you're not going to be yourself, there's no reason for you to do this shit. And not everybody is going to accept you for who you are. You understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to people walking out on the shows, man, I did a show at the Arena Players about 4 or 5 years ago.
I used old school mall back.
Yeah. I did a show down at Arena Players. Now, what I didn't know, that this was a fucking... No, that it was a fucking NA show. Yeah. I didn't know it was an NA show.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Absolutely. And I didn't even get 3 minutes into my set. And it was old school crackhead. She right here. She talking cash shit.
I was just about to ask you, like, have you been in that experience? Maybe not like the Will and Chris shit, right? But have you got roasted? Or have you been roasting somebody or just saying stuff and somebody in the crowd just like get super disrespectful? Like how you...
Well, it wasn't that it got disrespectful. What ended up happening, I started saying something to this lady and somebody on the other side of the room said, play with something safe, nigga. And then the whole crowd just said, boo. And I was like, hey, that's my time. Fuck y'all, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? And I got up out of there. I wasn't going to sit there and act. But again, me now... I would have sat in that and tried to bring the crowd back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me being inexperienced, I got the fuck out of there. You understand? But that didn't discourage me. I had another show directly after that. So what ended up happening, my whole set went out the window when I talked about that whole situation at the other show and got a standing ovation. You know?
Yeah.
So have you ever got booed?
Yeah, that was the time I got booed. They booed me the fuck out of there.
That's crazy.
That shit was like the Apollo. I said, sheesh.
Oh, man.
And I came in that motherfucker fresh. You know what I mean?
How they gonna put me in this outfit?
Niggas ain't gonna put me in this. I had the big bottle of Bella Head with me on the stage, everything. I grabbed my liquor, got the fuck up out of there. Know what I mean? You know?
You used it to your advantage.
Yeah. Little fight another day. I ain't no fool.
Right.
Shit, and we across the street from the projects. No, I got to get the fuck up out of here.
Oh, yeah. That was absolutely half of their mothers and fathers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody
tried to... right there.
Yeah, no bullshit. No bullshit.
So you never been attacked? Nobody's ever tried to play with you on stage?
Nah. Ain't nobody tried to play with me.
You be roasting people in the crowd?
Nah, see, that don't happen unless it get disrespectful.
Okay.
You understand? I'm big on customer service when it comes to that type of shit, right? When you come to a Papithebear show, you're going to enjoy yourself. It's going to be grown and sexy. We're going to have some fun. You know, we're going to talk about some shit. You know, I might be like that uncle at the cookout. We sit down and rap a taste, have a little drink, have a conversation. You know, that's my MO.
Okay.
I don't like to fuck with people in the crowd unless you fuck with me. Now, if you in the crowd and you doing some stupid shit, then I'm on your ass.
Right.
Pause.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, I ain't gonna fuck with you. Come on, and I encourage the comedians that I have on the show with me to do the same. You know, because again, we had to give y'all an experience. You know, not to make you the experience. But Larry Lancaster said something a couple of times on the show. He said, you can either enjoy the show or become a part of the show.
I'm gonna say he be kind of getting.
Yeah, you know, so that's my whole MO on that, man.
Okay.
As far as like grind and dedication, you know, we got like a lot of young kids that think everything is like instant gratification nowadays. Can you like speak to like what you have to do to stay relevant in the comedy world? How everything isn't just like I turn my camera on and I got 1,000 views just that fast. Like now I'm viral.
You gotta keep going. You know, it ain't. One, consistency will take you a long way. You know, I create content on a daily basis, and I might create 5 videos, you know, a day, and none of those videos hit, but I'm gonna post them because I want people to see my face. But it might be that one day that I'm on motherfucking fire. That I mean, and shit crack open. About a year ago, I did a video. It was a voiceover. I started doing voiceovers. And one shout out to my man Tony Baker, because when I first started doing my voiceovers, I was watching his. I said, let me try this. A lot of people, excuse me.
He did the ones with the animals.
The animals.
Yeah. And I had quite a few people come on my post like, yo, you sound like Tony Baker, this and the third. And I'm like, I don't. But then I had to listen to myself. I'm like, damn. I do kind of sound like bro a little bit when I started. So I switched my format up, and I did this one prison video. And I posted it, and that motherfucker went crazy. Now, I did probably about 200K views on my page alone. But then over a couple of days, people start tagging me in all of these other posts, all of these different, you know, dudes, Doggy Diamonds, World Star, what's the guy, TMT Jake or some shit. All of these people was reposting it. It got 20, 30 million, you know, views on these pages. Then I go to Twitter, it got like 10 million views on that page. You know what I mean? So collectively, that thing probably got about 50 million views. You know what I mean? Between my page and how many times it's been reposted. That right there, that set a fire under me. And prior to that, my first M on Instagram was me posting a voiceover of a chick getting hit in the head with a pot in the dollar store. You know what I mean? And what ended up happening, somebody reported it.
Oh my!
They took the video down, but I reposted it.
Okay.
And it went dumb again. You know what I mean? So
did they leave it up or
they left it up. They left it up this go around. So
it was still too soon.
Right. So with that gave me all right, I got something here.
Right.
So I just kept the path, man, and just started growing with that. And it's hit or miss. You know, I wouldn't call myself a social media comedian, you know, but I do watch a lot of the guys, you know, to try to see what the formats are. And that's all you got to do, you know, watch people that's in your niche. You know, that's just like, you know, you guys with the podcast thing, you know, you watch people who doing what you're doing that are successful, and you try to create a different type of formula with your spin.
Sure.
Right.
Lavelle Crawford, Mark Curry.
There you go.
Shit.
Which one?
I'm gonna go with Mr. Cool, man. I'm gonna go with Mr. Cool.
No, that's what I meant. Like back in the 90s or now, he's still hilarious. I just seen him.
I ever seen you stand up, bro. Real shit.
Yeah, I just seen him when he was here at the arena.
I didn't think
he was here at the arena last week. Yeah, I just seen him here last week, and fucking phenomenal, man.
He is hilarious, bro. I was surprised. I just went on a whim, like, all right, you down to Comedy Factory?
Nah, that's a killer, bro. That's a killer.
And Marshall Brandon. If y'all never seen Marshall Brandon,
Marshall
Brandon. He be out with Chappelle sometime. He one of the funniest guys I ever seen, bro. Always shot your up.
For sure.
He crazy.
Marshall Brandon. I'm gonna have to look
Yeah.
I ain't never gonna forget him.
Yeah, tell me we go to the comedy shows. Shoot.
You don't come outside. But yeah, that nigga is hilarious.
So we got you as a family man,
Absolutely.
married, ex-military.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. I do it all over again.
With all that, right? Oh, and you come from a 2-parent household.
Absolutely.
So you big on family.
Absolutely.
How do you navigate the thotties and all of that?
Them groupies.
Why you?
I don't.
The whores.
You don't navigate them?
So, all right, not to be kind, I'm going to just say
y'all
this.
Polygamous? Y'all
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm used to pussy.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? To put it in, just to
Can
put
you
it.
get used to pussy though?
I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that, right? I ain't never had a problem with getting. So it's never been one of those things where I was thirsty to get it. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't gonna see something and just say, "Oh damn, I want to fuck that." She might be a beautiful chick, but I ain't running it down. You know what I mean? It ain't that serious.
Let's say you walk down the street, you see $100 bill on the ground, you gonna pick it up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
You come in your hotel room, you see her butt naked laying in bed.
Get the fuck out.
That's what I would say too about marriage.
No. I mean, look, I'm gonna keep. Let me say something. I've been in situations where I've had females either at my door or in my personal space.
Yeah, because it's Baltimore. Women are
Yeah, not only
aggressive.
Baltimore, I've traveled. You know, so I've been in those situations. You know, it's not something that's new. You know, and I think that's one of the reasons why my path is the way it is, with me being as old as I am and me getting to the point that I'm at now. I've experienced a lot young, so I think that was preparation for me going forward. You know.
Do you think any of this has to do with your wife being there, going through that situation with you, that you feel like you owe her more loyalty?
Nah. This is just motivation. She's there. She's my backbone. That's my rib. You understand what I'm saying? So me being who I am as a man, naturally, you know, I'm going to provide.
She had already solidified.
You know,
her
she had already solidified who she was prior to that.
You know what be funny about these questions? Because I ain't no nigga gonna sit up here and say, I mean, yeah, I do cheat from time to time on my wife.
No, listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you something.
No, I'm just saying, like,
no. But I get what you're saying. I'm a very transparent cat. You understand what I'm saying? I get tempted. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you I don't. I'm a man. You understand what I'm saying? I'm human. I get tempted, but it's all in what you act on. You understand what I'm saying? And I understand, and I got that understanding with myself that a piece of pussy can fuck up a lifetime of what I got to build. Because the judge gonna give her half everything, if not all of it. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and I respect my wife too much for that. You understand what I'm saying? You know, she ain't never brought me no disrespect, no drama, so why would I bring that away? Let her man.
Because it says, what does it say when you get married to? Thick and thin?
Sickness and health.
Yeah.
That do y'all part.
So do you feel as though if she ever stepped out on you, is it over, or you gonna stick with her?
No, that's dead.
It's dead. So fuck all the sickness and health and all that shit from the vows.
All right, so it go like this.
You ain't write your vows up.
And I would expect her to do the same. And it don't have nothing to do with that. Any relationship, once you cheat, now girlfriend and boyfriend, you might be able to get over that. It's different because you're still building. But as a husband and wife, once you cheat, the dynamic change, right?
Trust is gone.
Yeah, nothing will never be the same. That's a sacred space.
All right, let me ask you this. I don't want to use your wife in this. I'm just going to use the example. You was dating a girl and y'all was serious. Or you was married. And your wife got raped and wanted to keep the baby. How would you feel about that?
Fuck type time you want, man. If my wife got raped and she wanted to keep the baby, brother.
Do you have kids?
6.
Do you feel like you're your kids?
Why are you stepping on my question?
Because that's crazy.
Right. How you just think of like...
But, I mean, because I don't know.
I mean, look, I've been watching y'all. I expected this from this nigga.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I expected some off the wall shit. Well, so I was kind of prepared for it. Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, so let me ask the question.
So that's a tough question, man. The nigga in me saying no, but the compassionate side of me is saying I want to stick with her through that trauma, right? Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you don't want to negate the fact that she went through a traumatizing experience, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't want to also be insensitive to the fact that she has a child growing and her this is life. Although she didn't choose it, right? This is life, right? The father in me, the man in me, will want to be there. Now, on the flip side, that the nigga in me like, man, shit, I'm not doing that, you know. But again, it's a double-edged sword. But if I'm being real, you know, I would be conflicted.
So if the rapist was like Uncle Tom, like, you know, the uncle that be in the basement, they tell you don't go down there for the cookout, but he your uncle. Whoa. If her rapist was like Uncle Tom in the basement, y'all keeping the baby and raising it?
I mean, well, first we gonna have to take a ride with Uncle Tom and the white van.
Yeah, Uncle Tom got
he gotta go.
Right.
You know, he can't leave that unscathed, and the law ain't gonna do enough for me.
At all.
And he still never answered the question though whether he was gonna stay or not.
I did.
He's staying.
So you are staying.
I said I would be conflicted. You know.
But you was.
I may stay or I may not stay. It's hard.
That's not answering a question.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I try to give him a little bit more. Like maybe if it's
I appreciate you. You know, he gonna hold me to that. Yeah. He gonna hold me to that.
Yeah, because I was about to go on. My mind started going crazy. So then, if you stayed, then the baby came out retarded. Now it's a rapist retarded baby. But
oh my
nigga.
Yeah, we can move.
Oh.
Yeah, just move on, yo.
God dang.
This Sunday, come on now.
On a Sunday.
The Lord's Day.
And would you consider yourself as a dad in a dad's role, right? Like, I'm a mom. I feel like I play a lot, but I'm still not my kids' friends, right? Do you feel like you their little friend, or you reigning with an iron glove?
I'm not my kids.
6 kids is crazy. You got 6 baby mothers?
No. So my wife has 3. I have 3. You know, it's a blended family.
Was it by your previous wife?
No, well, so I had 3 biologically.
Okay.
You know, 1 boy, 2 girls. 2 from my previous marriage, 1 when I first graduated out of high school, right? The type of dad I am, I make my kids comfortable talking to me, but I make it uncomfortable, you know. I'm not my kid's friend, but I am their confidant. You understand? I am somebody that they can come to and lay it all on the table. Right. And we going to talk about it. I'm not going to judge him. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. If it's some fucked up shit that you did, we definitely going to have a conversation about it. I gave out a couple of ass whippings, you know, but at the same time, my kids are very comfortable coming to me talking.
So you think like they come to you for anything?
Absolutely.
You got sons?
I got 1 son.
Oh.
He's 14.
Okay.
And that's my man. You know what I mean? And we talk about everything.
So even you think he'd come like...
Even gas? Like farting? Like, do you teach him, like, that it's cool to date a woman that farts? Or are you telling him, like, if they don't fart?
Oh, no. All right. So I got what you're saying now. So to that question, right. She pulling some shit out of her ass right now.
Literally.
But, right. So here's the thing with that. I'm a raw nigga, you know. And
you got 6 kids.
It's terrible. But when it comes to me talking to my son, I keep it as real as I possibly can. Ain't no woman out here that don't fart. It's better out than that, baby. Don't fuck your bowels up. You know what I mean? Trying to be cute.
Right, trying to be cute.
Fart. Let that motherfucker go. I need to know what you smell like.
So has a woman ever farted like while you was having sex with her?
Yeah. I'd have fucking fart out a bitch or 2.
Did you like put the thing on ass and say, you next, be quiet?
Who's the comedian there?
We was playing, real quick,
out.
this is a little off, but it's not off. But we was playing Taboo last night, and it's uncensored. And it was one of the words was queef.
No invite.
I had to say the word without these couple words, and the girl was queef.
Mm-hmm.
And he was calling her Queef Latifah the whole night. How you get queef? Like, I'm like, I explained it well.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, that
Queen of Queef. Okay, yeah.
We should get some uncensored Taboo. That's fun.
Yeah, you get that. Yeah, for sure.
And we are throwing a Puff and Paint event May 17th. If y'all want to come out, check us out, fly, coming soon, whatever Ashmo do it.
Coming soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
The fart threw me off, y'all.
Yeah, she fucked the game up with the fart.
I'm trying to,
Where did it come from?
I didn't know how to follow after the rapist question, so it's like,
this is what we
Nah, but baby, look, be you. Because look, I'm a fart. I'm gonna let this motherfucker go. That mean, I'm gonna bang this gun. That I mean, look, that's your character. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want you sitting in my house sweating, looking crazy. I mean, I got you. I got my leg on you, and you scared to move because you don't want to fart. You better let that motherfucker go, baby. I got a fan, and I make some it's AC.
When women we trying to be cute eating, I be like I don't care.
Yeah, you better eat. Fuck with these wings. You know what I mean? Let's
so how do you feel about spurters?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't mind. It's great beard activating.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with it at all.
For sure.
It's a part of sex.
So is it pee?
It's a little pee in there.
Okay.
It's absolutely some pee in there.
It gotta, because it's a lot of wetness. Like, where's it coming from? Yeah, it gotta be a little.
Yeah, it's a lot of pee. I fuck with, I got grown women. She go to the bathroom before we fucking, you know what I mean? So, it might a little squirt or something, but we got,
never hurt nobody.
Not at all, but I'm a realist. I'm practical. Don't fuck my sheets up. You know what I mean? We wash clothes and everything. We got our own wash and dry.
The mattress pay.
No, but I understand that. But again, it's certain shit. Don't fuck my good sheets up. If we plan on having a squirting type of night.
Oh, you gonna put a towel down? Guys.
Yeah. Put a towel down. What's the joint on Tumor? They got the demonstration.
I was thinking, what's that dog pad? Them little dog pads?
No. They got a blanket. They got a motherfucking blanket that catch all of that.
You got it.
Yeah.
They definitely got what I see that motherfucker. No, I got a whole pad. You never know.
I got a whole bag over there.
Okay, we older, Jack. I catch cold. Really, I can't sleep in the west spot, baby.
Oh no, you own that west spot. You did it.
No. We gonna clean that on up. We gonna go get a bite to eat.
That day.
No,
I'm big enough. We can scoot older enough.
I hear you. I got a budget, baby. I ain't fucking up no mattress. That mattress costs $2, baby. Come on, we gonna get this shit up off of here.
You gotta get the pad.
We get the pad.
You can't always be that prepared.
Yeah. This ain't single life. Niggas ain't prepared like that. Motherfuckers work 5-6 days a week. Know what I mean? So she can't sleep in the west spot because she ain't gonna want to come back and peel that motherfucker up when she get up in the morning.
So we gonna clean up.
We gonna whip my whip. Yeah, the grandkids might want to come over. We can't stay in that. Grandkids pop.
Right.
You fucked up. Now the grandkids they the fuck around.
You ain't gotta get ready.
There you go.
But I ain't gonna. That's for another episode. I ain't gonna get into all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was gonna ask back to the comedy. So
Talk to me.
When you prepare, you always prepare everything before your shows, and
absolutely.
How do you do that? How does it?
So I'll tell you, my process. Like I said, I used to do music, so I prepare my jokes like I did my music. I record myself saying the jokes. I'll sometimes go through my whole set and I record it. Voice record it. Then I'll go through it and I'll trim the fat and re-record, and I might do that process 2 or 3 times over before I get to the final product. And whatever I scrap, that might stay to the side because it could be some comedy gold next go round.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Do you ever veer off and do stuff? Not saying you get it on a crowd, but just what if something happens? I don't know.
Absolutely, it's been plenty of times where I had a whole set prepared and something might have happened or somebody might have walked in the room that took me off my entire set and we ended up just going into that. Right. But it all goes back to your material. You know, if you like you said, if you prepared with what you do, you know, if when my man said, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Right.
You know?
Speaking of maturity, right? How did it fit? Have you performed in front of your parents? And if you have, did you like scale back a little bit, or were you still like super raw?
My very first show, I was nervous, right? But my mom and my dad were there. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, listen. You're going to hear some stuff tonight.
Right.
And before I could finish my sentence, my mother smacked me in the face. She said, nigga, be you.
Right. Oh.
Be the you that you are when I'm not around.
Be who you are.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So with that, my first 5 minutes, I got a standing ovation. I sent the nigga to the hospital. You know what I mean? So
lit.
Wow.
I was bit by the bug right off early. You know, my parents always been super supportive of everything that I've done. You know, my pops, is still a very involved father in my life. Yes. You know what I mean? You know, me, my mother, my father, and my sister, we all live probably in a 2-mile radius of each other.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So we're a very close-knit family, man. And, you know, we're involved in what each other do. You know, and my pops has always been a raw cat. He ain't never held no punches with me in no type of way. Same thing with my mother. You understand what I'm saying? So when it came to my comedy, I could only be that.
Right.
You know?
Have you ever been accused of stealing jokes?
Nah. Really? Somebody stole one of my jokes. I can't say who it was just yet. Not yet.
Why not?
Y'all gonna have to see.
Don't say their name. I said.
Nah, y'all.
Write it down on the notepad.
No, that's a pay to play. I'll tell you what. If you get a chance to watch my stand up, if you have not, it'll be very blatant what the joke was and who stole it.
So we gotta come out to that. What
you ain't gotta come out. I got some stuff on YouTube.
On YouTube. Oh, okay.
I got some stuff on YouTube. You can go check it out. Okay. You'll know who. As soon as you hear the joke, you'll know who took it.
Okay,
so how we know that you ain't stealing from them?
Because my shit was 3-4 years ago, and I've been saying this shit for 5 years, and I caught it on tape for about 2-3 years ago. Okay. Know what I mean?
And I know a lot of comedians say that's why they don't try to listen to other comedians because they don't want to steal the joke. So I can hear this comedian now saying, you know, we just had a similar process, and I ain't steal the joke, but you think for sure.
I'll say this.
Now he.
No, I ain't taking it back. I ain't taking it back. To your point, there are a lot of premises that are perspective based, right? Everybody have a lot of similar experiences in life, but verbatim type shit don't happen every day.
Yeah, for sure.
Word for word,
you know what I mean?
Plagiarism.
That verbatim shit don't happen every day. And right now, I'm still up and coming, so I'm gonna let the people decide on how they feel about it was, and whether they decide yeah or nay, that ain't my last joke. I'm gonna keep saying that, motherfucker. Know what I mean?
That's good controversy.
Speaking of plagiarism, do you think comedians use ChatGPT for their jokes? You think? Yeah.
I don't know.
Is ChatGPT funny?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a mechanical engineer myself, so I use ChatGPT for work. But I also have just tapped into like with the social media marketing and stuff like that. So I use ChatGPT, Cedric and stuff like that for those purposes when it comes to me like maybe writing a hook or doing a script for the social media.
Was it Cedric the Entertainer?
That stole his joke?
No.
He's still everybody's stuff.
I thought you said Cedric right quick. Go ahead.
No. Cedric is an AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a
name out there.
No.
Catch it.
No, Cedric is a AI app. You tried it though. But Cedric is a AI app, man, and I use that for my field.
Okay.
Of work.
Okay. I was just curious because I feel like people use ChatGPT for like everything now. Like
I mean, it is a
content.
It is a big thing. So you might have some people that actually write their jokes and put them in ChatGPT to actually word it different.
Oh yeah,
that could be a thing.
That's not really good.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that part of it, but as far as people using chat, like yo, nigga, write this joke for me. I don't know.
About maybe something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cedric the Entertainer or Steve Harvey?
Cedric.
I think that was easy.
Yeah.
What made you pick Cedric?
I fucks with Sad Heavy. Steve Harvey on the business tip. Cedric on the comedy tip.
Steve Harvey on the Lori Harvey tip.
Wow. Yeah.
So you motherfuckers daughter. That's why you said Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I understood. I mean,
Yeah.
understandable.
Did you see her?
Absolutely, she's gorgeous.
She showed it.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Right. Toes and all.
Yeah. She gorgeous chick. Yeah, fuck well.
Yeah.
Seeing as though you like Red Fox, I love Red Fox. He more like a juke joint, old school.
Right.
He never really did a lot of cursing.
Yes, he did.
No. Like, if you listen to his stand-up, it was raw and it was funny.
Okay.
But it wasn't...
He wasn't an extra motherfucker, son of a...
Yeah. He definitely wasn't like Richard
He was raw
Pryor.
and edgy. Mm-hmm.
You had to catch it. Like, kind of, I felt like it was intellectual comedy.
Yeah, I would say that.
Would you say you veer more towards that way when you doing stand up, or are you more like current event stand up funny?
I'm real life funny. I talk about life situations. I talk about my life situations. You know, most of the things in my stand up, they resonate with people because they might have been in a situation. You know, if you haven't seen my stand up, I have a joke about an older lady that I used to date. You know, and
you like the cougars?
Absolutely.
Continue.
Yeah, I like my coochie season, baby. But you know, it's a joke about an older lady that I was dealing with, but that resonates with a lot of men because they've had that fine old chick that they used to deal with. You know what I mean? Or they've dealt with a young lady that might have lived in the projects, had a couple kids, you know, and when you came over there, you know, she had that good food, stand food, you know, the Murray Steakhouse steaks, you know what I mean? Might have gave you a Capri Sun instead of gave you, a bottle of water or something like that, you know?
But you being a real comedian, do you think it's anything in your life that's off limits till you bring it to the stage, or everything?
Everything goes.
Everything.
All things go.
Because Richard Pryor said he was sucking dick.
For coke.
Wait, hold on. I ain't never sucked no dick for no coke.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying some people probably wouldn't have said that though. Like they probably kept that in the back.
Right.
But that made him him. That made him authentically who he was. That is why he's the GOAT.
You talking about him saying or him sucking the dick?
No.
Made him.
Okay.
Him admitting it probably.
Him showing himself in his rawest form. Okay. I knew this nigga was gonna do that. But him being him in his rawest form is what made him who he was. Whatever he did, right? You know, and I feel like, and this is just my opinion, anybody that gets on that stage by themselves, comedy is not a team sport, right? Yeah. It's you. You depending on you. You're not depending on another nigga to help you make nobody that. It's just you. You understand? So you're pretty much bearing your soul to everybody, right?
I want to ask this question really fast though, right?
Sure.
Is this because this is a real thing? Do y'all really put like what do you call them? Those people in the audience to like laugh when you don't know whether or not you're gonna be funny. You know, like the little sit-in people, or like, do you use them?
That's crazy.
Some people have people that they hire to come and sit and like, I might roast you because you're my friend.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I see.
Okay,
that.
so
kind of like a secret shopper, but not a secret shopper.
I can't speak to that because I've never done no shit like that.
I seen like it was one comedian. He had another comedian that he was trying to joke about, but we ain't know we was in on it until we seen him go up on the stage because he was one of that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I ain't never did no goofy shit like that. Yeah, any crowd interaction you've ever seen me deal with, it's been organic, you know. And I think that's most comedians. I mean, I don't. The thing about it is, I didn't come into comedy the traditional way, so to speak. Like I said, you know, I went to a comedy show with Howard G. My cousin, Uncle Black. He was actually on the show. I was still in recovery from my surgery and everything. And that's how I ended up talking to Howard G about, you know, getting on the stage, and he put me on the show. So that's how I came into comedy. But I've never been in my 8 years, I've never been totally in the mix, or I've never studied or went by the rules of how a lot of classic, you know, or what you would call the traditional comics would say, don't do this, don't do that, fuck your way. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that shit made it work for you. You know, I don't rely on nobody to book me. I can book my own shows. You know, so when I get on stage, I'm gonna do it my way. If you're booking me, you're booking the bear. Don't give me no stipulations on, oh, I don't want you to say this. Okay, then guess what? You don't want to book me.
Right.
You know, I don't need your bread, bro. That I mean, I can get on my own stage and pay myself 3 to 4 times more than what you could ever pay me.
Have you ever ran into any disappointments with like some individuals in your field? So let's just say you met Chris Rock or Cedric the Entertainer, and they weren't who you expect to be. Like, have you met any entertainers that you expected to be another way, and they were like trash, terrible?
I think you get it.
Attitude, you know.
Nah, man, I don't expect much from people, right? What you show me is what you show me. And meeting someone for the first time, you'll never get who they really are, right? Especially somebody that is just getting off stage. They moving around. You'll never get who they are. So until I meet somebody and I actually build a relationship with them, I never judge them.
Is there anything else you want to get to people? You close this one out.
Oh, man, May 30th.
For sure.
May 30th, the Mansion, Baltimore, man. You know, Papithebear, Hilarious Omar, Larry Lancaster, Lonnie Davis, Ray Diva, Chi-Chi the Comedian, Henry Jones, October Parker, Akela Devine, man. Billionaire Bear Entertainment, CSL Entertainment Live. We here. Get your tickets. They going fast. You know what I mean? And that's all I got. Oh, and this is also the official launch party for the Cashmere Cologne line. Now, we get ready to get up out of here, right? But I gotta ask y'all, I gotta get your opinion. You know, I came in, I told you I was gonna have a couple of gifts. What you think of the scents?
I like it.
Now, I am a cologne connoisseur. Y'all know me. This ain't it. No, I'm joking.
I want you to be honest, baby.
No, for real. It really do smell good, though. Like, when you left out, I was like, yo, this shit really smell good. Like, I would wear it.
Yeah, it smells good.
Absolutely.
Like, it smell like something you would wear. Like, it really do smell good, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, I ain't put it on, so I know about the longevity, how long, we had a sillage and whatnot. But
so I'll give you a little bit of background on it. 8-hour lasting power. It's not made with no alcohol. I got a perfume liqueur in there, and everything is made from scratch.
It does. The one I got smell amazing. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
It's just from smelling from the bottle. I ain't even putting nothing on yet.
What you got right there, that's that 333 to Baltimore. You know, and
I can't stop smelling.
I made that with Baltimore in mind.
Right.
You know, I wanted to have something that represented my city, and I got another one coming behind that, you know, but I wanted to have something that represented my city. Now, what you got right there?
This 357 is definitely a killer. It got hints of citrus notes in it.
Absolutely.
I smell vanilla. Maybe a little bit of like light jasmine, but it smells like fresh coochie. I don't know about everybody else's, but this smells like water. Like, it smells straight out the shower.
How many coochies have you smelled for the note? Never mind.
Only my own. I would hope
you
that
need a couple more references, don't you? I mean, but we supposed to be closing this out. But go ahead. The one she got.
Oh, I can't. This one, I don't know what. I can't explain what it smells like that. But I like it. It's different. It's like light, and I can see me wearing this. I got a 3332 Baltimore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like it though. I can't explain it, but.
Man, so all
what's the difference? The numbers.
Okay, so 19.
This is nice too. I like the 1980.
We gonna end it with this.
We're ending with this. So the 333, right? That's the creation. That's the creative number, right? That's
prosperity.
There you go.
Angel number.
You know what I mean? It's angel numbers. With the 357, that is my initial in numbers. My initials in numbers. 1980. That's the year I was born. You know, so I have a couple of other cents. 215, which is my father's birthday. 1982, which is my sister's birthday. I also have Harlem, which is where my wife is from. You know what I mean? So that cent reminds me of her. You know, and I also have the 1270, which is my son's birthday, 1207. You know what I mean? And I got a couple other cents coming, so I got about 10 cents. You know, we got a couple of joint ventures going on that we try to close some deals with some major department stores, man. So you're gonna see us around. You know, we revamping the whole situation.
One more question. I know we gotta close this, but
talk to me.
Are you separating these by male or female, or are you trying to call all of them unisex?
No, so that they are male or female sex.
Okay, that's what I like.
Yeah,
real
so,
shit. All
that 333 to Baltimore.
Yeah,
it's gonna smell different on you than it would on her. Sure. Right? That is a unisex smell. So, like she said, she smells the that has a little bit of the vanilla bean, a little patchouli, bergamot in there. You know, so it's some not spicy but light smells. You know, that could be for male or female.
Scratch that. 1980 smell like fresh coochie. 357 smell like right after Ramadan.
Okay, I like that.
Okay, well, on that note, it's been another episode.
Yeah.
Appreciate
y'all having me.
I'm E.
And I'm Kim.
And they call me Papithebear, a.k.a. Big Cash Man, bitch.
All righty, we out.
Yes, sir.
You be dragging on this beat.